another session. I've already cleaned up before I put up my Pivio apparently, but okay, so this is going to be a little bit scattered. I'm going to work on a few things, various things. I'm going to kind of jump around. I don't know if that's frustrating to watch. I don't know if that's frustrating for her. It doesn't seem like it. I think it's easier for me because I can take a break when something's not working and then I don't get frustrated. So personally, I kind of like jumping around a little bit, but obviously it's one of those things you need to make sure that you and your horse are cool with whatever you're doing and kind of do mental check-ins, I guess. As usual, I am not a professional. I am not a trainer. If you are interested in any of this kind of training philosophy, please reach out to positive reinforcement professionals. This is not a how-to. I also am not doing positive reinforcement maybe the best way that I could. I think I get into a groove later, but I think it takes a few sessions for me to really do it well. This is just a bit of grooming. I use the metal curry because she is actually she wasn't that dirty once she was good at the beginning, but nowadays she's really dirty. All right, so fly spray. So the last video I kind of talked about how I needed to go back to the basics of reintroducing something, and I think I'm doing a better job this time. I don't think, looking at it now, I don't think I'm doing it well, but I think I'm doing it better than last time. I think I need to do a little bit more spraying it off of her before spraying it on her within the same kind of session. I think fly spray is also something that's pretty quick because it's only just a few things and then you're done. So maybe that's what I'm thinking. Maybe I'm thinking, oh, she just needs to get used to it, but I think I needed to take a step back and reintroduce it. I also think here's a good example of me needing to reintroduce something. She moved back a lot and I just kept following her. She's obviously kind of communicating something where she's a little bit uncomfortable to some degree, or, something's going on. And I think I kind of ignored that with her backing up. And then just more grooming. I have a little bit of the tail, and this will be interesting. So I think I like that I waited for her to kind of just say what's going on. I think I'm not giving enough breaks in the tail, and she's obviously a little bit uncomfortable about something. But instead of rewarding her for breaking, I kind of go reward for neutral positioning, if that makes sense. So it's just hey, obviously something's wrong, but I don't want to reward that. I'm going to wait until there's something else. Okay, so now we're going to work on a little bit of leading, and that includes kind of our boundaries with the body. You can see where I'm I'm trying to convey to get out of on top of me. And I think I didn't quite know how to do that at the beginning for sure, but it's just rewarding the behavior you want. She's oh, I get treats when I target, but I guess we're not doing that right now. She's so cute. See, she's always been a very good leader, even without anything. So this is a little bit of a verbal cue of whoa or ho to halt. And now I'm working a little bit on backing up. I'm using the whip as kind of an extension of my arm to push her back. It's just more touching her and then that indicating go back. So we can see it here. Touch. Wait for a response. No response. Tap, tap. No response. Shift. Good job. So it's not smooth. It's not clean. It's not the most prettiest thing you've ever seen, but it's just a lot of working towards what it is. I think I run into an issue later too where my body positioning I kind of forget, and how much that conveys to her as well, especially with doing things not from her head. It gets kind of confusing, I think, for her because when I step back, she steps back, but I want her to step back without me stepping back. So that's a little confusing, I think. So either keep that in mind or shape the behavior from the beginning. My Pivio didn't catch us. So I'm zooming super fast through this. It's working on targeting with a stick. So I actually have a Swiffer rod with a tennis ball on it because I'm cheap. So I've introduced it a little bit off camera there where the Pivio didn't catch up. And then I'm just working on leading because she's in my space. So I was kind of thinking I can use the target to show her where I want her positioning to be. For the most part, I think I liked this idea because I'm trying to convey information. And I think, it's back and forth. Here's some targeting example where I'm waiting for her to touch the tennis ball, not the rod, which she was really weird about at the beginning in the sense of like she didn't know exactly what I wanted. Maybe the tennis ball's not big enough, obvious enough kind of thing. So again, it's just almost capturing the behavior because she's kind of throwing ideas out and I have to be like, that's the one I wanted. So we work on it better and a little bit of backing up with that as well because the target is something she follows. So that's what I thought the backing up would be more successful. And I think it is. I use the target a lot from trailering. I use it too. She seems to need a goal to work towards. And I don't know if that's just her or how I've accidentally trained, but she is not great right now about like just going forward blindly. She needs an end point. So the targets are really good for various reasons, cones, trailering, all that kind of stuff. So a little bit of targeting and then a little bit of just touching and everything because again, we are moving pretty fast in regards to working together, but touching and all that kind of stuff is not behind, but us doing things where I'm not touching her are better than when I'm touching her, if that makes sense. She's weird about it because that's weird, right? And then I go ahead and work on kind of a calm default situation. I think it was just kind of escalating whether I was frustrated or she was frustrated, or maybe there was some mugging that was kind of developing. So I need to go back and like reinforce what ideal position I kind of want. And a little bit of trying to find a scratch, and she says, not really. And then a little bit of feet work as well. So this is me saying, I don't want you to pick up. Now I want you to pick up. Because again, my positioning of my hand is what I'm telling her to do. I need to be able to touch her leg without her lifting it, but in certain ways I want to lift it. She's really good about this. You can see, this is just awesome, right? I don't quite like how much she'll like move back and stuff. I feel like she's conveying that she's a little bit uncomfortable and I'm ignoring that. I do later, I think, use the pan a little bit more with the feet. And I think that's good because I think she needs a stationary place to be at in order to just not wiggle. And for me to convey that I don't want her to wiggle, I guess. But overall, like, her front legs really weren't an issue. It's a little bit of keeping them lifted, I think, was the big issue. And then the other side, we're going to mirror.
Take a choke. We're going to calm down. Look. We're going to chill out. Right? We're going to chill out. This is going to be chill. We're going to be chill. We can be chill. Oh, does it feel good or bad? Do you like that? I think it's good. Oh.
Okay, so I think I might start doing that where I'm showing you clips and like the audio of the training session, especially when it's kind of the same thing. But again, how much I talk to her and how much she'll talk to me. But like, so a lot of times when I feel like we're getting overwhelmed, that's when I like tell her to just take a chill pill and like we'll just stand there, calm default, the neutral position, and then eventually I'll go ahead and lead around because I feel like that's something to do that is still calm. We also have to work on it, so it is what it is. And then I go ahead and jump to some more targeting with the bumper. I'm pretty sure I was feeling that she didn't understand necessarily targeting quite yet of how I wanted her to target. Like I want her to touch the thing, and the bumper and the tennis ball were not confusing, but like she was better with the fly spray. So it's just like, okay, I need to target other things for her to understand what I mean when I say target is to touch it.
I need more cookies. You did a good job. Thank you for targeting that for 5 seconds. Thank you. I know, right? You're so angry. You have such an angry face. You really do. Not yet.
I love her so much. She's so sweet. She's so cool. Okay, she's so fun. She really is. Back to our training video. So obviously I have gotten a fly mask and gonna start some other things. I'm going to slow this portion down because I just go full force with the brush. And she's like, what the hell was that? Because I'm pretty sure that I had introduced a brush before this because that would seem really silly. I'm silly, but like it would seem really silly for me to just like go full force. But again, it's reintroducing it the first couple times until it's cool. Like, see, she's pretty much fine with it now. But I just went full, just gung-ho, like full on force, and she's just like, I don't like that. And I don't get that through my head. I feel like fast enough that I need to slow down. So yeah, that's just one of my issues. And I think I realized it a little bit later because I remember making a point to re-halter because I was kind of like throwing the halter on her and I didn't like that. So, but it is one of those things that just I gotta be smarter about, and it's hard watching the videos because I was not smart. But I'm learning a little bit because here's a little bit of reintroduction of the fly mask. I don't just like fully put it on her. I'm redoing kind of the initial good things and then I just put it on her. So she seems fine. Like she does. And I'm not saying that like I'm being horrible. It's just, I think I should have slowed down. I mean, I've said that 15 times now, but I think, again, it's my impatience showing. It's, we've done this. Why aren't you good with it? Me not letting her digest information, letting her think about it in the moment. So, yep. Obviously, I'm thinking very hard about something. And I think it's body positioning because, again, she crowds, but that's my fault. It's also the giant knot in her mane that I do eventually get it. Like, I don't know if I show it, but I like eventually get it because I was really to really just cut it. It was really tempting to just cut it, but my domestic doesn't have a long mane, so I was like, it's kind of fun to have a long mane. Now, I don't know. Look how roan she is in the spring. Also, does she look pregnant? Because I don't know. This is March. She doesn't look pregnant to me. Like, she looks like a pony. She looks like a little pony. No boob changes. No baby moving. I have no clue. Like, there'll be times where I just, like, stare at her. I'm like, please just tell me if you're pregnant. Like, maybe. Does she look pregnant? I don't know. Her roan is just so pretty, though. So pretty. All right. So, I think at this point, I am enjoying our session together, but I want to do some more stuff. But at the same time, I'm not running out of things to do, but kind of just thinking about if I want to continue. I like how engaged she is. She's like, cool, hey, but also like we could do stuff. And I really like that, looking at it, because she's willing to kind of spend time with me in a way. That is her method of bonding nowadays, is just like standing next to me. Okay. So not everyone, a lot of people teach the like smile with like the lip up, and I really, really wanted to do that. She gets a little bit crazy about it. Like, she just gets like very, like, I think frustrated easily. I've also never taught it. My sister's taught her courses, and I'm kind of tempted to ask my sister to teach her, because I don't know. I guess I'm doing it wrong. She also, one of her pain responses is actually lifting of the lip. So, spoiler, she like has a mini colic episode that I cause. So just add it to my list of things that I messed up on. And her response is the lip. So then I'm like, I don't want to teach her the lip thing, because if that's her pain response, I want to know that she's in pain, right? So I don't actually teach her the lip thing, because I want that to be only a pain response. But yeah. Okay, so just touching and holding of the head. So a lot of the things that I feel like I'm working towards are general care. Like, if you have to hold them for the halter, hold them for the bridle, a vet has to hold them to look at something. You know, it's just that kind of general care, dental. You know, that's what I keep in mind of when I do certain things, even if I'm going to do them, but like also like, how are other people going to approach the situation? And then I wanted to include a clip of her walking, working on halt and kind of things like that, and a little bit of pressure on the lead, so understand when I say halt, like means a certain thing. This is her speed. We call her mosey. She's moseying. She doesn't get any faster than this. Like, that's her speed, is mosey, which is just pretty funny. But it's all energy conserving, right? So makes sense. But okay, so this again was a bit of a chaotic training session where we have jumping from thing to thing, but I felt pretty good about it. I think that helps me, and I think that helps her. Yeah, and that's it. So we are good. There's my jackpot. End of session.